Here we are at the start of a 5-day trip into the Gila wilderness, heading up to the middle fork, or the west fork, and then we'll cross over in a comforting place called Hell's Hole Canyon over the mesa top into the middle fork and come out there. So we're still wide open, it's noon, it's hot, and there's smoke behind us from a wildfire. So off to a good start.
They're entering the West Fork Canyon. This is kind of blowing my mind in here.
Been hiking some tough trail. Well, day one was a bit rough. We had to cover a lot of miles. And it's been a while since we've actually backpacked, so our legs and our hips and our feet are kind of complaining. But this is truly one of the most spectacular areas we've ever hiked, period. It's definitely national park worthy type terrain. It's pretty incredible. So today we have another long one. We have to go up Hell's Hole Canyon, which is like 1,000 or 1,500 foot climb up out of this canyon. And then we have to cross the mesa top without water, quite a few miles as well, and then drop into the middle fork. So we got another long day ahead of us, but we got our coffee and slept somewhat okay. So we'll see. So we just climbed up Hell Hole Canyon, which we've just discovered why it has its name. And I don't know, 20 switchbacks towards the top. Now we're getting pretty close to the mesa here, and it is hot and dry. And we have a long day ahead of us, that's for certain. Imagine that, we're still going up.
Well, we're at the top, and now we have a choice to make. Can either go that way across the mesa top, it's pretty flat, or we can go that way and drop down into a drainage, which will be a steeper downhill, but it should be shaded. So either faster travels or shade.
So we elected to go down the Pryor Creek Trail, which is quite beautiful. Clearly doesn't get used very often. Hard to find actually. But we were kind of hoping there was gonna be water, hence the name creek, but there is not. So the 2-3 liters that we have left that we brought over from the West Fork is all we're gonna have until we hit the Middle Fork. So we got to do some rationing, but it's really quite beautiful in here. Finally made it to Middle Fork, but we're effectively 2 cars in limp mode getting there. I think we have about 300 or 400 foot descent down to the river, and God, we hope there's a good campsite there because I don't think we can go any further. Yeah, it's been a little tough day, but we're almost there. So we're here at camp along the river, and thank God Kim brought some 800 milligram ibuprofen because otherwise we physically couldn't move anymore. Today was possibly one of the more challenging backpacking days we've had in a long time. We're both pretty much shot, and the good news is we still have the longer part of this trip, the whole Middle Fork, to hike.
But we have 3 days to do it.
Yes, okay, thank God.
Yeah.
But boy,
2.5.
oh boy, today was a big day. And I think if we're gonna do this again, we need to add another day to this loop to make it more doable, because hiking 10, 11 miles up on the mesa top in that heat without water, that's pretty brutal, and we're pretty shelled. So we will see what tomorrow holds in for us, but we're back in the canyon and the river's moving quick, so hopefully we can get some fishing in and find a good spot along another junction called Indian Creek. So we're walking along this stream or the river, try to see if we can catch something, but it doesn't seem like they're interested. It's the middle of the day, so I'm not surprised. But watch me walk over here. There's gonna be a whole group of them come out from this rock, I'm guessing. Boy, they all tucked up deep in that rock.
Yeah.
But pretty amazing. We saw about an 18-incher in here. That was a big fish. That's huge. So we're gonna do the old-fashioned.
Your skin's super thick.
Yeah, we can't quite.
Uh-oh.
What? Oh my
Boy.
gosh. Oh.
Well, we've made it to the confluence of Middle Fork and Indian Creek. Right over there. Now we just have to find a campsite, set up camp.
All right, so day 3, Middle Fork. Beautiful, unbelievable canyon. Water's quite warm, so not a lot of fishing, unfortunately, but we saw a few, and they don't seem to be entertained by my fly selection, but that's another story. The big news today is us and our never-ending blisters on our feet. We're literally just sitting here in the tent, flushing them out with water and applying some antibiotic and so forth, and trying to keep them in good enough shape for tomorrow, because we have another, I don't know, 8-9 miles, and then hopefully the next day not too bad. So we'll see how it goes, but there's gonna be some gruesome footage on here. All right, so knife is too dull, so we're gonna go ahead and try a safety pin. Really looking forward to this. Ouch. So it's like that first layer. Oh. Oh, there it is. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Well, we've determined we're actually in the Lost World. It's Jurassic Park. We're worried about raptors now.
T-Rex will eat them.
Oh, that's a good point. Check this out. Well, although the soak was nice, the reality is we still got to keep pushing. It's become pretty apparent that this was not a 40-mile hike. This is more than that. The Forest Service maps are quite out of date. And most of it has happened either in sand or on rounded river rock. So we are walking a little bit drunk and wobbly and bleeding in various spots, and just trying to kind of keep pushing as far as we can today, so tomorrow, our last day, we don't get into Santa Fe at midnight. So we'll see how far we make it.
I have no idea where we're at. A lot of this looks very much like Zion, the Canyonlands. This is otherworldly.
Here we go. Try to film and bring in a fish at the same time here. Look at this guy. That's a good fish. Check him out. final camp is broken down. I'm getting ready to head into the midday sun here and get out. It's a pretty incredible place, although it's totally kicked our asses. Last night, the blisters on my hips burst, and both our feet are cut up. And so we're popping ibuprofen and trying to work our way out. And cannot believe how beautiful this place is, though. That's for certain. And we did get screamed at by a deer, which is something I've never had happen before. You know, what's so impressive here is the biodiversity is incredible. I mean, just from a flora side, I mean, there's maple, sycamore, narrowleaf cottonwood, ponderosa, Doug fir. We saw some aspens. All this willow hasn't been replaced by the invasive tamarisk.
Numerous oak.
Numerous types of oak. Yeah, this is just amazing. And that's not even counting all the various critters we've seen so far.
Bullfrog television.
Alright, let's see if we got a Gila trout out of this hole. First ever Gila trout and my final New Mexico trout. Watch that pole, Kim.
Yep.
Oh, it's a sucker.
Oh, got suckered again.
I keep getting suckered. So, are we in the Gila or are we now in Grand Gulch? So we're like less than a mile out from the car. I still haven't caught a Gila trout. So we're taking every opportunity we can. So we're gonna try to sneak up on them here and see what's what. Well, there you have it, 50 miles through the Gila, starting in the West Fork, walking through the National Monument, and then straight into the wilderness, up and over the mesa, and out the Middle Fork. That's a big hike. That's like 50 miles, tough country. Beautiful, obviously. The only regret is that here in late June, it is hot, smoky, and unfortunately I was unable to catch a Gila trout. It was simply too warm, both the water and just the general heat. So we will try another time, but for now, that is one more stupid hike with Kyle and Kim. So is this what Reagan was talking about when he said too much regulation? You know it's good when there's bear warnings and falling tree warnings and the water's poison and warning it's a burn area. Oh, and cougars, don't let your dog off leash. Oh, and then what to do about wolves. Yeah, that's how you know it's a proper wilderness trip.